Hello and welcome to the weekend. It's time for a brand new episode of SegaSonic Radio. I am your host, as always, GX, aka Chris, aka The Spin Dash. Okay, whatever. We've got some great Sonic tracks for you this week. This week's theme is Otherworldly. We picked out some tracks and had some requests of songs not of this plane of existence. The weirder tracks. The interesting tracks. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without some Sonic Frontiers this week. We've got plenty of Sonic Frontiers requests, including our first one, coming at you from Mr. Speed over on the Discord, blowing the theme of Cyberspace Level 1-2 from Sonic Frontiers. We've got another trio of tracks coming up for you, including a request from Alex Hyde and BR over on our Discord. Hope you enjoy. Catch you guys on the other side. Hey, that was Strange Parade from Sonic Runner, Steel Ship from Sonic Shuffle, as requested by Alex Hyden BR. Scored. And wrapping up with Launch Base Zone Act 1 from Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Original version. Hey, hope you're enjoying your weekend, aka the weekend in which Pokemon comes out. I'm sure a lot of you have either worked your way through Sonic Frontiers already and are either, doing cleanup work on it or trying to, maybe 100%, give it a second playthrough. Whatever you do with the Sonic Frontiers, I don't know. I beat it, I think last weekend? Probably last weekend, sometime after we recorded last week's SegaSonic Radio. I got some feelings on it. I kind of landed mid-range. We'll say mid-range. I think Dread over on our review for the site was somewhere in the middle. Like, yeah, it's all right. It's a good game. It's a good game. It's not a great game. It's a good game. That's kind of where I feel about it. I'm not super high on it. I'm kind of like, it has some ideas. It executes on some ideas, but it doesn't quite hit all the notes that I'm looking for in this type of game it is. If you want some more in-depth feelings on it, some more words, head on over to sonicstadium.org. I have a little article up, a little editorial on it, called "Sonic Frontiers is Big, but it's not necessarily open," but it's not very open, whatever. You can figure it out. We've got another trio of songs coming up for you next, including some Sonic Frontiers tracks, and a request from Maxi Bun Buns over on Twitter. Hope you enjoy. Catch you on the other side. Hey, that was Ares Island Second Movement from Sonic Frontiers, requested by Maxi Bunbuns over on Twitter. Followed up by Collision Chaos from Sonic the Hedgehog CD US version, and Cosmic Fall from Shadow the Hedgehog. I've been playing a lot of Shadow as of late to record footage for the show, and I've returned to the fact that, you know, there's a lot of discussion about, like, modern Sonic versus that sort of earlier era of Sonic, and my goodness, Shadow the Hedgehog is a terrible game. Just absolutely very, very struggling of a title. Partially because some of the missions in it are just so demanding, but then also you can tell all of the places. Like, if you play all of the levels back to back, you very quickly realize, oh, this is how they recycled all the assets. They just wholesale ripped stuff from this level for this level. Which is kind of weird, because they reused this segment about 3 times in the level. Shadow really is slippery to control. I'm kind of shocked jumping back to that game and just reminding myself, especially after getting to mess around with Sonic Frontiers, just the disparity in controls and just how slippery it is. It kind of needs the various sliders that Sonic Frontiers has, just to sort of make his physics a little bit more manageable. This whole project to record footage has kind of been interesting to jump back into older Sonic games, games I haven't played in quite a while, even beyond the other streams I do for the site. Just sort of readdressing, like, okay, what can I appreciate in this? And most of them, it's come down to, well, I can find some things to appreciate in this that I didn't necessarily before. I think Sonic Frontiers, or Sonic Forces was a good example of that. I had, surprisingly, a pretty entertaining time trying to record footage of Sonic Forces. Shadow didn't get that treatment. Shadow absolutely did not get that treatment. I'm looking forward to when I get to things like Sonic Unleashed, Sonic 06. But there's still a lot of gaps in footage that we need. Still a lot of gaps. We're going to fill this gap with a few more tracks for you, including a request from F15E Strike Eagle over on Twitter. Hope you enjoy. Catch you guys on the other side. Hey, that was Planet Whispack 2 from Sonic Colors Ultimate. Ungratify Electro Extended from Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, and Sky Babylon from Sonic Rush Adventure. Yeah, this in terms of games, I've been trying to follow up on Pokemon, but largely I've been in the dark a bit. I've barely read any reviews, although I've heard some talk about reviews, but I am looking forward to it. It's kind of the weird dichotomy of, hey, these two open world games, or at least open world adjacent games, came out within, like 2 weeks from each other, between Sonic Frontiers and Pokemon, and makes it a bit odd. Makes trying to decide what I'm going to be playing or prepping for a session like that, a little strange, a little unusual. But I'm looking forward to cracking in. I don't know if anyone in chat has a specific preference for what they are going for their intro. I know I was able to snag both versions, but one of my versions is absolutely going to have my weird little apple dinosaur. I need to be the apple dinosaur. He's adorable and strange, and I love him, and I want to raise him into whatever he's going to look like in several levels, because I've actually avoided trying to see what the evolutions are. Well, avoided is strong. I haven't encountered because I haven't really looked. So, I'm looking forward to it. It looks interesting. It seems like it's going to have some significant graphical issues, if Twitter's to be believed. But yeah, there's a lot about this game that seems very strange, between sort of the trio of different gameplay methods, the less linear design for it, and just the overall setting. Just the overall setting looks very pleasant. Dear God, I am a stand for whatever Pokemon game is the newest. If you ever ask me, hey GX, what's your favorite Pokemon game? My answer is typically, well, what is the newest generation, and which game is in that? I like the continued movement towards modern design Pokemon series, because it's a slow movement. It's an enjoyable movement. That sounds lewd. No, it's not. It wasn't intended. I think we should listen to music while I cover all of this up. We're going to go ahead and check out another trio of songs, including one request from Knuckles87 and another from Mikasai, the Dragon King, over on Twitter. Hey, just as a heads up, most of the time I only let people put in one request per week, but I made an exception for Knuckles87 this time, because one of his songs is like 48 seconds long. Also, he's on staff. Also, he'd be a pain in the butt if I didn't. So, I don't know. You got 2 songs from him tonight, but it's fine because they're very short. Hope you enjoy. Catch you on the other side. Okay, that was Gene Gadget Zone Act 1 from Sonic 3D Blast Saturn version. Under Galaxy from Sonic Shuffle, as requested by Knuckles87. And Digital Cave from Sonic Frontiers, the theme of Cyberspace Zone 1-3 from requested by Misakai the Dragon King. It's about 8 o'clock. Let's check in on some news from this week, and I guess we'll just kick it off with the biggest and most intense news that we probably don't have enough details on to make a, really big... to go into in excruciating detail. Yuji Naka has been arrested. This is something that we reported on yesterday. Fuji News Network, FNN, had reported this initially. It got picked up by various outlets, and the details that we do know is that the charges are that Naka allegedly purchased 2.8 million shares of Aiming Inc., which is a mobile game developer, sometime in 2020, and apparently this was basically what the allegations are he purchased stock while working at Square Enix for this mobile game company prior to it being able to announce Dragon Quest Tact, one of its mobile games. And yeah, that's insider trading. For those who aren't familiar, insider trading is effectively whenever you use insider knowledge about a company that you work for or know someone who works for in order to have more knowledge than what is public in order to buy or sell shares of stock. Generally speaking, this is frowned upon. Well, and by frowned upon, I mean illegal, because the broad concept of stock buying and selling assumes a fair marketplace, and it effectively makes it a pretty unfair marketplace. I know U.S. laws are in effect, but, you know, tends to be up and down on how this is on how effective the punishment is, or how intense the punishment is. As far as Japan, I get the broad sense that maybe charges for that are treated a little bit more intensely, but that's mostly due to other crimes and other punishments that I am aware of in Japan. Just in regard to things like fines, jail time, etc. Yeah. It's strange. It's a very strange thing to report. It's a very strange thing to have happened. It's not something to feel great about, I would say. I'm kind of the mindset of, hey, there's long been whispers about Yuji Naka as a, we'll say, team leader, and they haven't been good. A lot of the rumors circulating about his development style is that he kind of was an ass. But at the same time, you really can't divorce him from his contribution to the Sonic franchise up until 2006. So, you know, it's strange and awkward and complicated. I know there's been a lot of jokes on the internet. It's like, hey, it's the guy who did Balan Wonderworld, and now he's in and I'm not kind of reveling in that. I don't necessarily know that's in the best taste. I guess I get it, because he really hasn't been successful as a developer for many, many years. Arguably since the Dreamcast, but, you know, there will be arguments on either side for that. But yeah, it's at least big important news for sure. We also had the newest, longest trailer of Sonic Prime over on Netflix. Just introducing you to the, what is it, Shatterverse, Shatter Realms, Shatter Spheres, William Shatner. Yeah, they showed off a bunch of the different universes that Sonic will travel to in order to set reality right, as he, in attempt to stop Dr. Eggman, shatters the Paradox Crystal, which apparently created or let him access a bunch of different alternate universes, like Wilderness Universe, Pirate Universe, Future Universe. Thank you, Knuckles. Shatter Spaces. Just kind of, you know, it seems interesting that Rouge has become a core member to whatever team is involved in this. Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and check out some more music and take care of the rest of the news after that. We've got another request coming up, this time from Hunter the Hawk. over on our Discord. Hope you enjoy. Catch you on the other side. Heck of an ending to that song. I forgot how it sort of trails off in that sort of way. Let's catch up on a little bit more news. Oh, wait, yeah. The songs were Theme of Starfall Island from Sonic Frontiers, as requested by Hunter the Hawk. Followed up by Virtual Reality from Sonic Forces, one of the Shadow stages. And you can tell because it's a remix of your fight against BioLizard. Yeah. And finally, Ethno Circus digital remake and tracks from Sonic Rush. You've been, there's actually quite a bit of Sonic Frontiers news this week beyond, the game being out. Probably some of the most prominent stuff being in Japan, the Famitsu, physical sales charts are out, and Sonic Frontiers sold pretty well for a Sonic game. Surprisingly well. It sold a total of 46,000 units of physical cartridges, discs, whatever you want to call it, in Japan, which, generally speaking, you're talking like launch weeks for Sonic are 10,000. So, doing pretty good in Japan compared to where it usually lasts. It was if you combine all SKUs, it was the second best selling game in Japan that week. Now, obviously, Splatoon still took #1 chart, but that's because, Sonic Frontiers was split across the Switch and the PS4 and the PS5. But the only game that really beat it was the Ogre Battle remake, Tactics Ogre Reborn, that launched from Square Enix over on Switch and PS4 and PS5. That did beat it. But, small victories, especially considering sort of the apathy that Japan seems to have for Sonic, despite Sega's best efforts to, continue to make him a presence there. Of other things that are both very Japan and having a presence in Sonic Frontiers is the new Monster Hunter DLC. You can go ahead and download it right now. It gives Sonic 2 variations of Rathalos armor, just to run around and occasionally be in some cutscenes as. Also unlocks the meat cooking mini game over in the same spot that you would go fishing. A little bit tricky to get the timing down on, but if you can master it, it's just, 3 free coins every time you play it. So if you want to grind for coins to get free items, it's something you can do. Can't stop you. It's an odd one. But also, it might not be the last that we see of Sonic Frontiers updates. We've got a press release coming from PlayOn, who works with Sega of Europe, stating that there's going to be further DLC releases, upgrades, updates, whatever you want to call it, for Sonic Frontiers beyond the Monster Hunter collaboration pack. Knuckles, you're not wrong. I should have a video of it up, but, it's tough. I don't have it prepared. I spent all my time actually preparing for the show. But yeah, beyond that, if you're in Japan, they've got that HoloLive VTuber Korone pack to give them Korone logo shoes and turn the Coco into other stuff. That said, there's some weird mods out there right now that can you turn things into other things if you would like. If you are in Japan and you believe that, hey, I have the chops to do work on a Sonic game, it looks like Sega is hiring specifically for the Sonic franchise. Sega Japan's Twitter made an announcement saying, hey, they're looking for people to work on the Sonic the Hedgehog series. Obviously, if this is... You're not wrong. Just in general, yes, I should have some sort of GIF of the meat cooking. You are correct on that front, Knuckles. But yeah, obviously, you're gonna have to be in Japan. There's a good chance you're more likely going to have to be a Japanese developer, but, certainly if you're in Japan, go ahead and submit your resume if you think you've got the experience for it. Last thing to really cover is, hey, Digital Foundry did their review of Sonic Frontiers, and generally speaking, gameplay-wise, the reviewer, John Linneman, was very, very positive on the actual gameplay of the game, and a bit mixed on the technical aspects of it. Sort of the way that I would contextualize it is, the more hardware you can throw at Sonic Frontiers, the better. So, if you've got a pretty decent graphics card in your PC, you can pretty much crank up all the settings. But on PC specifically, it doesn't crank down very well. So you kind of need to have something that's pretty decent to get it running as expected. But if you can get it 4K 60, and unfortunately PC is the only one where you can get it 4K 60. PS5 and Xbox One X both have frame rate priority modes and resolution priority modes, meaning that, yeah, you're going to be pretty much deciding, do you want 60 frames a second and or do you want 4 full K resolution? And it sounds like you're gonna want 60 frames a second because something weird is up with the 30 frame a second version where it's just not pacing the frames correctly. That said, You can go down to Switch. You can get the Switch version, but it sounds like that version is the most compromised, and that includes having tested every single version on every single piece of hardware that they could with this game, right down to the original Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And Switch has really bad pop-in. It's as if you've turned all the settings down and then turned them down again. But that said, I mean, for a lot of people, that probably won't make a massive difference. But it does seem like the type of game that if you have a better way to play it, you probably should opt for that version. Even Steam Deck, it kind of struggles on Steam Deck. It kind of does struggle, and I haven't gotten it running at even just a solid 30 frames a second yet, much less like 40. I still have to tinker with settings, but yeah, it seems like it's pretty demanding of a game, which is weird because even on the PC version, there's notoriously weird, bad, and unambiguous pop-in. Beyond that, like, visually, it looks pretty nice. Some other things that might be pretty nice are our upcoming songs. I've got 4 for you this time, including a track that is quite honestly... I heard this track in the context of the game. It was against a pretty cool Guardian boss fight. And it was like, okay, I gotta get this on the show because I love this song. Though we also have another Knuckles 87 request as well. So let's take a listen, starting with a track that excites me. Hey, that was Ghost Guardian from Sonic Frontiers, followed up by Dark Sharpener, Intro to Void from from Sonic Shuffle, requested by Knuckles87, followed up by Mystic Cave 2-player version from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and wrapped up with Null Space from Sonic Forces. We're approaching the end of the night here, people. We're approaching 8:30, and you know what that means. We've got one more song left for you tonight. Thank you, everyone, for popping by, stopping in, and letting us start your weekend for you. Always appreciate it. Hey, if you're watching on Twitch, you know, give us a follow. Let you know whenever we go live. If you're following on YouTube, we always like comments, letting us know how we're doing. We always like subscribes, let you know when we've got new videos out. And of course, you can always jump over to our Discord. If Twitter shall implode in the coming week, and you lack ways to contact us and request your songs, jump over to our Discord. It's great. You can get to it from the homepage. Solid. Just head over to sonicstadium.org and we'll get you set up. If for some reason that doesn't work, I don't know, pop on live or on a YouTube or leave a comment or whatever and just say, hey, GX, I can't get to the Discord. Help me get to the Discord, and I'll make sure you get there. If you're in the Discord, you get to request your songs early or throughout the week. That said, hey, once again, just check on our stuff over at sonicstadium.org. We've got some great stuff going on over there. We've got message boards. We've got articles all about Sonic Frontiers. We've got reviews of Sonic Frontiers. It's great. It's great stuff. I've got an editorial. Knuckles87's got editorials. He's got more stuff in the hopper to do. I've got news to report. It's a lot going on over there. It's a very busy place. I think we're gonna end things tonight. We've got one last song for you. One last song for you before we go for another week. And it's Sega Carnival from Sonic Riders. Requested by... well, nobody. It's requested by me. Sometimes I choose songs. It's okay for me to choose songs. Peace, everyone. We're up, over, and gone. Have a great weekend. Peace, everyone. We out. See you next week. Okay. Hey, Twitch. YouTube, the